my friends, welcome back. Hope all you boys and girls are having a great day, because I know I am, because once again we get to convene and discuss movies. Today, we're going to be talking about The Iron Claw from 2023, directed by Sean Durkin. As always, any of you guys, that know me at all, or have seen my other reviews that involve wrestling, I'm a huge pro wrestling fan. Love wrestling. Been a fan since the 80s when I was like 5-6 years old. I mean, Hulk Hogan was my dude, you know what I mean? But I wasn't real versed in like the 70s, late 60s, early 70s kind of wrestling, That's more my dad's generation kind of pro wrestling. So I wasn't really versed on it, but growing up in the South, in Louisiana, especially Northwest Louisiana, being so close to Dallas, we're closer to Dallas than we are New Orleans. The Von Erich wrestling family was kind of a staple of this area's pro wrestling history. And so seeing a movie, I've seen the Dark Side of the Ring episode that talks about the Von Erich family. I've seen, different documentary type stuff that talks about the Von Erichs. I've seen the WWE take, documentary type things on the Von Erichs. But this major motion picture about Kevin, really, but it's about the whole family. It was interesting, to see the things that this family did, the things that they achieved in pro wrestling. I mean, because they are one of the greatest families in professional wrestling history, but they're also one of the most tragic families in pro wrestling history. I mean, the Von Erichs and the Grahams, they are plagued by, life takers, life takers, they're plagued by suicide and things, and it's really, really tragic, the things that happen to this family. First off, they lose a brother when he's like 5. I mean, that's got to be hard in and of itself, a child so young, being lost. And then, we lose the older, or one, like kind of, I guess, the middle son, David, to an intestinal disease over in Japan when he's touring there. And that's, it's like, man, it's almost like that sets in motion things to come, and Michael, he gets hurt and gets sepsis and is never the same and takes his own life. Carrie and the motorcycle accident. I mean, it's a really, really tragic story of a family. And I think that Sean Durkin was able to, capture that tragedy in a tasteful and respectful way, because we see them come up, we see the story of, because Zac Efron plays Kevin, and he looks more like He-Man than Kevin Von Erich. I don't know why they thought he should look like, Ultimate Warrior, because if you go back and look at footage of Kevin Von Erich back then, he was ripped, but he wasn't like, his body bigger than his head, looking like, Prince Adam from Eternia. He ain't doing all that. I mean, so I think that was, Zac Efron did a great job capturing Kevin and his awkwardness and his, inability to talk on the microphone and stuff like that. I thought that Zac Efron did well, but I think that he was a little too buff for the role. And then Jeremy Allen White as Carrie. Man, did that guy nail it. He was good, I thought he did well playing the partier, the overzealous younger brother that got his Olympic dreams snatched away from him because of politics. Like, it was just, he did really well. But the real star of the film, in my opinion, was Holt McCallany. I don't know how you pronounce it. You know me and those last name, guys. So, Holt, the guy who played Fritz. Man, that guy, he was great. He was passionate. He was intense. I loved the way that he just conveyed, because Fritz was kind of a prick. I mean, let's be honest. Fritz was an asshole. He played his children against one another. And I'm sure they took creative liberties with this, and they took, they embellished or omitted things, but overall, he delivered in spades as Fritz Von Erich. I thought that he was probably the most intense player in the film, if you know what I mean. And, you know, there's one thing I do want to talk about in this movie, and that is the gentleman who played Ric Flair, Mr. Aaron Dean Eisenberg. Sir, if you ever watch this movie review, and you probably won't ever in the history of my life, but if you do, you were the worst Ric Flair on the history of the planet. What? You had no passion? You had no inflection? I mean, come on, man. You're supposed to be shooting a promo. And you're woo. Like, what was that? Get out of here. You don't deserve to even be referred to as Ric Flair, my friend. Ric Flair is greatness on a whole nother level. And you slandered him, really. You really just slandered the Nature Boy. And I hope you never get another role again because of that performance. You were terrible. And he was, guys. He was god-awful. If there was one thing I could change about this movie, it would be him. Because anybody who knows pro wrestling knows Ric Flair. And they know that when he gets fired up and he's shooting a promo, he's shooting a promo. And so if you go back and you look at the promo that this guy's actually supposed to be mimicking, that ain't Ric Flair. And it's awful. And it's one of the worst parts of the whole movie. Bruiser Brody looked pretty good. Harley Race looked all right. But Ric Flair, man, Mr. Aaron Dean Eisenberg, shame on you. Shame on you for not even trying. But anyway, guys, it was Iron Claw. Excellent story. I'm thirsty. My mouth's dry because of allergy medicine. So I'm going to take a drink. Cheers. Iron Claw was great, guys. 5 stars. 5 stars. And I say 5 stars because, again, growing up Northwest Louisiana, close to the Sportatorium in Dallas and stuff, the Von Erich family and stuff was pretty ingrained in our, in our culture, in our wrestling culture. And so to see these things, to see, different things played out in places that I've been before, that I can recall being like, hey, that's really, really, really cool. And so for me, it was 5 stars. If you're a pro wrestling fan, definitely check it out. If you just want a really good dramatic sports film, definitely check it out. If you want a new A24 film to watch, check it out. But yeah, guys, 5 stars. Definitely go see it in the theater or whenever you can. Whenever it hits streaming, I'll definitely be buying it on a physical copy. But that's it for Iron Claw. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Like and subscribe. You can find me on Facebook and at the Cinema Dolce Facebook group and on TikTok. So, guys, thank you. I'm going to keep making them as long as you keep watching them. God bless. Peace out. See you soon.